Weekend in Taipei. Review: DEA Agent Luke Evans takes a tire-squeaking tour of Taiwan's landmarks. Luc Besson and Georges Huang have made a formulaic but entertaining action thriller. In 1982, Prince urged everyone to party like it's 1999. Aimed at the mid-era party crowd, Weekend in Taipei is a throwback in the sense that it recalls the unpretentious, if unmemorable, fun of many of the cheesy action movies made during Taipei's heyday. Out comes the VCR. Luc Besson co-wrote and produced this French-Taiwanese co-production, which also marks Georges Huang's first directorial work 30 years after his very different debut, Swimming with Sharks. Starring Fast and Furious alumni Luc Evans and Sung Kang in the male leads, the story of DEA agents heading east to battle organized crime builds expectations for epic chase and fight scenes, and these are met, even if the script prepared by Huang and Besson is nothing special. These 100 minutes provide high-energy, fuss-free fun that you will barely remember the next morning. At least there will be no hangover though. After a very active montage of everyday life in Taipei in the opening credits, we meet Kang, the new CEO of Kang Enterprises. This giant multinational corporation is one he has clearly dragged himself into a quagmire, one that has dragged him into courtrooms with a variety of legal infractions, from environmental violations to drug trafficking violations. These are not good times for the hot-headed tycoon, so he turns to his loved ones for support. Unfortunately, his wife Josephine, aka Joey, Gui Luan-mei, makes it clear that his affections are unrequited. The same goes for his son Raymond, Wyatt Young, whom he raised as his own but whose father he claims was another man and she died long ago. In his lavish home, the father receives little respect and directs his insults and angry outbursts at servants who don't always tolerate this emotional turmoil. Meanwhile, John Lawler, Evans, works undercover in Minneapolis, trying to find incriminating evidence of Kwan's crimes abroad. When his partner, Enrique Alonso Concha Cornejo, accidentally kicks them out of a restaurant where he takes a temporary job, the tentacles of the Kwan Company reach out to fishing, and an elaborate kitchen fight breaks out with dozens of thugs from a local gang. There have been similar scenes before, but this one made me think early on that Weekend would be a good mix of over-the-top violence and enough humor to balance the basic narrative formula. Huang mostly delivers on this promise, even if the aforementioned chaotic kitchen appliance festival represents the film's premature climax. John's boss, Pernell Walker, distraught that her Gonzo investigators are causing a bloodbath again, rejects John's request to take the case to Taipei. Instead, she sends him on forced leave, which he uses to board the next flight out, at the instigation of an anonymous informant with a ledger exposing Kwan. Things get ugly when a rich crook realizes that little Raymond is the snitch who stole this evidence. Mother and son must flee, and end up at John's hotel doorstep. This is embarrassing, because it's news to just about everyone involved that the father of the supposedly dead boy is in fact this nearly immortal, unflappable, cocky American with whom his mother once had an unhappy affair before marrying his criminal prey. The family reunion is cheesy, and the courtship flashbacks, although comic relief is provided by Evan's tapered pageboy wig, and her offspring's typically precocious maturity aren't much help. But Weekend in Taipei is rarely taken seriously, and that's a relief. The clichés and improbabilities are tolerable because they work on a B-movie meta level that, while not entirely parodying, maintains a light touch. A one-sided homage to Breakfast at Tiffany's, a movie theater brawl with House of Flying Daggers playing in the background, and an orchestral arrangement of the Rolling Stones painted black, enhanced with traditional instruments from the region, are just a few of the many elements used in the film. The film seems to wink at itself and at the viewer. Not to mention Joey's conceit. A fishing village orphan-turned-model girl is a world-class car mechanic, engineer and stunt driver, perfectly suited to racing and conquering the streets in his cherry-red custom Ferrari or homemade Mad Max dune buggy.